crap. People don't understand. These people don't understand good leadership. Why do your employees think you're a bad leader? Well,
it's possible.
Spoiler
because
alert.
You might be a bad leader. You might actually suck in your leadership.
And it's really important to understand that when we evaluate leadership, it's not just this arbitrary, ambiguous thing that like, well, my opinion is you're good and his opinion or her opinion is you're bad. It's actually something we can measure. And we do this with our coaching in the midst of working with leaders here at Half a Bubble Out. And when we do this, it's real important to actually assess to get an idea of what is your opinion, and then what's the opinion of at least 6 or 7 people, and I like a minimum of 3 of people who report to you, and then some peers, and then actually your boss. And if you happen to have a boss that has another boss in a larger company, then you get their opinion. If you own a small business, you've got your peers, you've got potential vendors, you've got the direct reports, and you put those together and you actually see how you show up in the world.
Yeah, because it's one thing to think that you're being perceived a certain way. It's another thing to check how are you actually being perceived. And if it turns out that you're being perceived in ways that you don't want to be perceived, like you're not strong in certain key areas, then there are ways that you can begin to intentionally fix that and develop in your own leadership so that ultimately your employees don't think you suck as a leader.
Now, one of the things you might be saying is, well, this is crap. People don't understand. These people don't understand good leadership. That's possible, okay? And I want to say, yes, that's possible. And I've asked this question before we started using this specific instrument to measure leadership effectiveness. Really, what I asked was, okay, how do we know the difference? And really, we can see if there is a minimal difference between your perspective of your leadership and their perspective. Or let's put it this way. They think you're better than you are or vice versa, then, okay, there's a margin of about 25% error or distance in there, then we're fine. You show up and things are going on in your mind and everything's good. But if that starts to spread and there's a large gap between where you think you show up as a leader and where people together, when they're all summed up, they think you show up, then you have to deal with some hard truth and saying, wow, I may not be as good a leader as I thought.
It's possible I have some opportunities
and that's not
to grow.
And I don't want you to be discouraged, and hopefully you're still listening to this video and you haven't hit stop and gone to something else, because there's opportunities. There's huge opportunities. And it starts with, do you want to grow? And if you want to grow, there are folks out there like us in our company that can help you grow. Find an organization that's going to help you measure that assessment and that gap of how you think you show up in the world as a leader and how your team thinks you show up as a leader, and then have the ability to take that and say, okay, let's look at that and coach it and make sure they're using an instrument that's got some validity to it. And then you can no longer say, my employees think I suck as a leader.